That's why they have editing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Sunday. What's new? What's new? What's not new? What's the
Wow. I'm sweating.
There's a crow outside.
I can't stop sweating.
I can't either. I hear you. I mean, even yesterday, so Wendy and I played with the band in a bakery. Mm-hmm. I had sweat rolling down my back.
It was weird because it was air conditioned and it was not like
There
that hot, but it was very humid, and it's very humid
humid.
today.
It was super humid today.
And I my little I have a humidity measurer. I don't know, what do you call that?
A humidity measurer.
I don't. There's probably like a technical term for it. Yeah, it's 72% humidity in here right now.
Oh yeah, that's a good amount.
That's a lot.
Gotta love it.
That's a little too much for
It's
my
a little
instruments. So hopefully it.
weather you can wear. No, they like humidity, don't they?
The ideal from what I read on the internet is to keep it between like 45 and 55.
Okay.
And anything over like 60 is a little too humid. But temporarily, it's not gonna.
So if y'all remember, Wendy has like 89 ukuleles and guitars hanging on her wall here in our office / podcast studio.
14, I think.
Yes, so it makes sense. But yeah, I swear to God, I am sweating more than I'm not sweating.
Nice.
For like a month now.
My body's weird now, so if I sweat, like my back will start itching really bad. I don't know. I don't like it.
If I sweat, it's in a full body, out of every pore, a sweat bubble just goes.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Mine is just slide around.
Mine just come.
I'm
Well,
not joking.
I sweat everywhere. It's like a bubble, but it's like definitely like coming out of a hole in the top of my face. Because it's just all coming out my face, which is the worst place to sweat.
Oh yeah,
because everyone's looking at you and being like, "Wow, she's really sweating."
yeah, I do it. I look at you and say, "Wow, she's really sweaty."
I do not.
I do too.
Yes,
during gigs.
Yes,
During
yeah,
gigs.
like we had a gig outside a couple weeks ago, and it was not hot. I did not feel hot, but I could not stop freaking sweating.
Yeah,
and it was like, and I because it was cooler out, I was like, oh, I'm actually gonna like do a cute makeup and all this stuff. I sweated off my eyelashes before we even started. One of them was all wonky, and I'm like,
throw it on the cement.
I did.
It'll crawl away. It's fine.
And then I'd painted on like fake freckles.
God, those were cute.
And they just smeared.
That was at Johnston.
Yeah, that
that
Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
Yes. Shout out to Back Pocket.
Yeah. And I think it was the beer mile.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told someone it was unintentional. I didn't mean to do that, but that they staggered the participants.
Oh.
Where they staggered them. And I was like, oh yeah, they're drunk. Were we drunk?
Good times.
Probably.
Not really.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, it was definitely not one of the drunker gigs.
It was definitely discussed after yesterday that sober gigs are few and far between and a little bit weird.
It's true.
It is. I mean, not that we have to be wasted, but
It's good that our audience is, though.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And these were a lot of older folks, little white-haired ladies. And there was one that was literally dancing when we were doing the Violent Femmes song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
and she was just tapping her foot, just like smiling. And I'm like, oh my goodness. You have no idea. It's just like generic music. And that's fine. Oh my gosh. Oh, we just totally digressed.
Yeah,
there.
sorry.
That's
no,
okay.
That was normal. We do have to talk about our week, but now we have to talk about our coffee.
Okay.
And my non-coffee.
Yeah, I don't know if that's sanctioned, but
Is there any kind of bean in that non-coffee that you can flick?
No, and actually, 7 Brew was very busy this morning.
but very efficient.
I don't know what's going on. There's like an influx of traffic in Ankeny yesterday. We noticed when we were leaving and coming back to Ames. But so I don't know if something's going on in town. I'm not in the know, I guess, but
it was busy.
Something. It might be related to whatever that was.
Sure. Anyway, the little gal came down like 4 cars down we are, and she took our order, and her name was Brooklyn. And again, she tried to block the sun because we couldn't see. And,
yeah, it was right in our eyeballs.
Yeah, they are so nice there. Mm-hmm. And I am going crazy because I texted you guys and I said might be in the drive-thru of Seven Brew right now.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, because I needed liquid breakfast.
Liquid caffeine breakfast action.
I was like, I need some calories and I need some caffeine, and this is the easiest thing to do while I'm driving. And so I'm switching it up. I looked at the menu this morning and I was like, since I got that coffee yesterday, I'm gonna go crazy. And I got the 7 Fizz, which is just club soda, but you get to choose flavors to put in it. And I went with lavender. And then at the end I was like, oh, can you put lemon in it too? And so they did. And when she Lily
the next girl was Lily,
and she said there's like 4 Lilies that work there.
Weird.
3.
Can you believe
Was it
it?
4?
So many.
There's A, B, and C.
I lost track of all the Lilies. And when she starts putting this in the holder, she goes, oh, that looks like a fairy tale. So I don't care whatever you guys got. I think I win. I think I fucking won.
They're always so pleasant. I don't know how they do this, because they're pleasant and lovely, and nobody's ever bummed for being at work. Or,
No.
I guess, they're highly caffeinated and they probably, had some sugar.
I'm going to say they probably have a good manager.
Maybe
True.
they get paid well and they're respected. Hey, what?
What?
That's not a thing.
And they're also all of a fairly young age. I'm going to say they seem to be under 21, under 23.
For sure.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Sure.
But very young, and when you have a full crew that's that young, I mean, I can't believe that there's nobody surly.
Well, and they're outside taking orders. What's going to happen in the winter?
They wear these really, really big coats that have reflective material on them, like construction workers wear, basically.
Maybe I want one of those.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait
I have to get
for
hot
winter.
coffees then.
I mean, thank you, Wendy, for introducing us to this fabulous coffee experience.
Thank you. Shout out to Burger King for going out of business.
Ha!
Because that's what it used to be there.
Nice.
When our first
Surprised that Fazoli's is still in.
I know. They're still hanging on.
It's looking like they're doing a nice business there. I don't know.
That's crazy.
They're hiring.
That's crazy. That's like the cheapest thing you can make at home.
I know. I've always thought, and
what you make when you don't have anything else.
Yeah, you're like, I need some spaghetti.
Yeah,
I have a jug of sauce in my fridge right now. Whip some
tell
up.
me why
but
they
I'm
don't
too
make
lazy.
smaller jars of spaghetti sauce.
Oh, I got a great big one.
God,
Just
I
because
hate that.
It was cheaper. It was on sale.
It's never the right amount. It's either like not enough or it's way too much.
Hot dog buns.
Yeah.
What?
It's not the right amount. They should be as many buns as there are hot dogs.
Yeah,
And
and
they're
they're
usually 8 and 8.
No,
Oh,
it's like 8 and 10, or
there's always more
or
hot
6
dogs.
and 8, or 10 and 12. I'm just naming different
somebody
numbers.
needs to do something about this. I think. Let's.
you know
who do
what
we
else?
call?
You know what else really,
Who do we
really
talk to?
chaps my hide?
What's stuck in your craw, Bridget?
Let me tell you this. Let's talk about mayonnaise jars for a minute.
Okay.
Why are the openings so small? When you get down to the bottom of that mayonnaise and you got to stick that knife in there, I always get mayonnaise on my knuckles.
Why are you getting? You need to get a different brand that's got the wider mouth.
Listen,
Because mine have a wide mouth, except for the small jars. You probably get the small jars.
I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I don't like where you're going with this, but,
Also,
you know, I feel attacked. And maybe I bought the one on sale, but I feel like that's a forever problem of mine. I'm not getting Miracle Whip. Don't even suggest it.
Okay, don't get Miracle Whip.
I won't.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay.
I have that in my cupboard.
Stop it.
Ew.
I don't know.
Ew.
It was cheaper.
Wait, it's not in
It's
the
not the
refrigerator?
same.
It's not opened yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Not a
Worried.
monster. Not a monster.
Not a monster!
For when I was a kid, I thought for probably till I was actually literally an adult, that Miracle Whip was mayonnaise.
Yeah, of course.
Because we always had it and I hated it and I was like, oh, I don't like mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And then I actually had mayonnaise and I was like, wait a minute, this is
Wait a
amazing.
minute. Yeah, it's
Okay,
it's
next time
tangy
I'll buy
and weird.
mayonnaise.
My
When
grandma
Albert does
always had that.
And when Albert does grocery shopping, he'll get Miracle Whip. So sometimes.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, you either like it or you don't, or it's
I don't
really,
notice.
like you said, it's two different things.
Yeah.
One is this and one is that.
Yeah.
And one is tangy and one is delicious.
Okay, so we've solved that problem.
All right.
Oh my God, shouldn't we get into it? Boom. Let's do our
Spaghetti.
deal.
Okay, we didn't even say what coffees we. It doesn't matter, I guess. We talked about the lavender.
Screw your
You got the
coffees. I
lavender.
said I
I
already
got
won.
a new one again.
True.
Though.
I don't have.
Oh, you did. What did you get?
I got the Smooth 7, which is hazelnut and Irish cream. And it's really good.
I haven't tried that one yet.
I was
but-
concerned because I usually like chocolate stuff.
I
but
might get that one next
good.
week.
I can never tell what flavor Irish cream even is. It's not mayonnaise.
That's a good question. I don't know. Is it like Bailey's, which is
Yeah.
sort of like what flavor is Bailey's? Butterscotch? No, it's not.
Yeah. Sometimes
Bailey's
you can get
is-
it in caramel, but you can also
What's
get
in
it
Bailey's?
So it's
It's
I made homemade Bailey's once. It's
Gus, go
whiskey,
Oh, it tastes like whiskey.
vanilla. It has egg in it.
Yes, it does. I remember when
It
Liz
has-
would make it.
Full
Oh, yeah.
fat cream in it.
Mhm.
A little bit of coffee. Dang, and it was good.
that sounds amazing.
It was good. I probably still have that recipe. I'll give it to you.
I think that
I'll put it in the show notes.
sometime in the future we should have everybody brings a coffee recipe for each other or something.
Oh yeah, or
we make it.
cocktails.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like we
Let's
make
do
them
that for
together.
I have
Patreon.
no idea to do with
Oh,
that.
that's okay.
You have the Google.
I do have the Google,
It's
and
like
I have a
Jody's
Keurig.
the only one with the clear channel to the Googles.
I better get my phone out.
Jody Google Fox. Yeah, you better get ready
my
because
middle
be
name.
A Google
My
something.
mom was a psychic and named me. My middle name is Google. It's
right,
actually Ray.
Are
but-
you doing the 25 for
Yeah.
Billy Elliot?
I'm doing
Oh,
Save the
she's
Last
Last
Dance.
Dance.
Oh, okay. Which one you want to do first? I want to do Billy first.
Okay.
Do it, Jody.
That sounds weird. My 25
I think you already
words-
did.
I just wanna
I know, right.
throw this disclaimer out there for now and future. My 25 words really suck. All
Well,
the time.
I
you
think-
guys are good.
No, I think that Wendy is the.
Wendy's the bomb.com.
I mean, to be fair, I literally make a
Right.
living as a writer, so I have
be
had a lot
fair.
of practice. To be fair,
Well, to be not fair, we should make Wendy do them every week for every movie.
I don't know. That's a lot of pressure on our
I
Wendy.
don't think so.
Our Wendy.
I think she does it in her sleep.
I woke up and wrote it on my phone this morning, so
See?
that's
Told ya.
yeah.
You dreamed it.
Maybe instead of doing it right after the movie, I need to let it percolate a little.
I suggest
Percolate.
you let that marinate.
I
Yeah.
suggest you let that marinate. So, a working class kid from northern England discovers ballet over boxing. His family won't have it, duh. And but all's well that ends well.
Is
However,
still one of your words?
no, I just added that
I thought it was in there.
I
Yeah.
wanted to count
because
it.
working class northern England. The first time I
Yeah.
watched this movie, I thought they were Irish. Got all excited about it. They're not.
No.
They
Yeah.
sound Irish.
Yeah, they
but that's
do.
fine.
Yeah.
Irish cream.
What Billy
full circle.
Elliot. Wow.
It
Listen.
was a good movie. It's a nice.
It-
Kind of. It was watchable.
I loved it, but I thought it was adorable. I actually
Yes.
haven't seen it before, but I knew that they'd made a musical out of it, and I kind of knew what it was about. So that's why I put it in the jar.
I did see that they made a musical. I almost accidentally watched that instead.
Oops.
Billy Elliot, how cute was he?
He was super cute.
And so yeah, little guy with a
was
terrible
11.
home life, and dad works in a coal mine or whatever, and
So
so
does
brother.
our Tony. Our Tony.
And it was not a good scene. They were on strike right away, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were on strike.
Yeah,
it was a
and,
big deal.
As you come
Northern
into it, I
or
think we're in
northern.
1984.
Yes.
And then so dad, he's the typical like macho, proud, hardworking dad who doesn't want a sissy for a son. You know that trope. That's
And he just,
like
you can tell he just doesn't understand it and doesn't want to understand it. And as much yelling and fighting as there was, yes, that's what I thought this was Irish.
oh yeah.
But, no offense, lots of offense.
And dad pronounces it Bally.
Oh,
Bally.
everybody does. Bally.
The Bally.
He-
Uh,
What, you're
I'm
going to be a
not
ballet dancer? It
Yes.
sounds like they're saying belly
Just
dancer.
because I like the ballet doesn't mean I'm a puff.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of where it was going, that was
Yeah.
going to be like a little side love story with his best friend, but
for sure.
he wasn't gay, and I
No.
kind of thought that was cool that they had the best friend that was gay. He was totally fine with it,
Well, he
and
said his dad dressed in drag too,
Mhm.
or
yeah,
no, I'm sorry, cross dressed.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have said that's drag, but
yeah.
yeah, he's just wearing his sister's dress, no big deal. And then he puts lipstick on little Billy, and I was like, he's already got the most ruby red little lips. He does not need lipstick. And I wrote in my notes, I love a little ears that you can see the sun through.
I didn't notice that about him,
They
but
stick out from his head,
Yeah.
and when the sun's behind, it's very like Owen Meany. Do you remember
Very-
that
very
one?
pink.
Yeah. Oh, they just glow. It's so cute. And I also wrote in my notes that the very few and far between times that he smiles, it's so amazing. Like there are so few times that he has the occasion to smile, and when he does, or when he has like in his head this little private joke, you know, like when the dance teacher's husband is all full of shit and realizes like he doesn't have a job, so
Yeah.
that little wry smile, like, oh, fuck him. It's so great.
He's a little bit mature for his age in that.
also-
yeah.
those kind of
Well,
respects.
and I don't know if we mentioned that his mom has died too, so that
Yeah.
that adds an
It's
extra
not-
element of
Yeah.
sadness to the whole family that they're struggling with
Yeah.
that still.
you could tell that if she was there, that things would be
Well,
more fine.
Grandma's
Yeah.
there, and
But Grandma's
God
a
bless
little bit
Grandma. She is, but she's supportive, and she
Yes.
is a fan and former dancer.
Yeah, she just
herself.
keeps saying every time his dad objects, she just keeps going, I could have been a professional
Yep.
dancer.
And gets shut down every time.
I appreciated her house dresses.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Still,
Keep going.
any of those are just super hard, super.
Dangerous.
That's what we need to be
Dangerous.
developing
Black lung.
AI for.
Oh yeah. Good
Instead of sending people down there to get black lung, we should be sending drones instead of
Or-
sending them to
No.
kill other people. And,
Or just stop using coal.
well,
What?
yeah, that's also a
one. Sure. Jeez.
I know, radical. Woo!
Well, at any rate, that during that strike, they were clearly in a bad way.
Mhm.
I mean, you knew it was bad when Dad is smashing that piano for
Yeah.
firewood, and you realize, like, at first I'm like, oh my God, is he just trying to crush this kid's dreams? And then you realize, oh, they've got
Then they
no
burned it.
chairs, they've got no table. That's why he smashed the piano.
hmm
Um,
Well, also, I think there was some anger in there too.
well, yeah,
Directed at, he didn't like it
he's
when they played the
directing it,
piano.
yes, but it's anger at himself and the situation, not being able to support his family, and now there's this other thing with the Bally where you
Yeah.
know
And he does try when he does come around. He accidentally sees Billy dancing, and
because of the fucking boxing coach.
and Michael wearing a tutu, and so they're dancing together, kind of. But Michael
Yeah.
kind of steps off to the side, and Billy
and he was,
unleashes
it. Was
it.
innocent. He was
Oh, no, it
teaching
was
him.
fine.
They weren't dancing together.
No,
just
it was
because-
fine.
Yeah, just because
But
he
he
put
didn't.
a little tutu on
Dad
it.
didn't
So
see that. He
cute.
didn't care. He saw Billy,
Yeah.
and he but his dancing was so. It was so, like, sometimes almost spastic. I mean,
Yeah.
it was like so he's got all this talent, and I'm
wrote-
just like, he's goofy.
Yeah, it's goofy. I wrote very Ed Grimley, but also I wrote a few things that were like, oh, that's a nod to Footloose. Is what I was thinking,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
when he was just like expending all that energy
Yeah.
and like banging on the brick
Oh, he was
walls and
mad
climbing
then.
the walls, and I was like, Footloose,
Mm-hmm.
Footloose.
Yep, that's a running through the warehouse
Yep,
footloose
yep.
moment.
I wrote a note that at one point at the very end, Dad is laughing, and he's a whole different guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's really cool to see that. Also, I liked it when the little girl,
Debbie.
Susie, I'll show you my fanny.
Yes, and we know Fanny doesn't mean
No,
hiney.
fanny is
Yes.
frontal, and she like I can't say it, and he's like, no, okay.
I'm good.
She
Like,
was odd.
I think
she
she
was
wanted to-
very comfortable touching him and stroking his hair. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Well, I
Huh.
think they grew up together in a
that's
way, but
true.
She was, very,
but
like,
they're
direct.
11, and she's well, you know how
Yeah.
girls mature faster.
Oh my gosh. So
She's just like,
she's
The
the
pillow
daughter,
fight. That's the pillow fight.
yes.
She's the daughter of the ballet teacher.
Bally.
I'm sorry. ballet teacher, and you know, becomes a real mother figure. Although it is cute when he says, "Do you fancy me?" Thinking that she wants to teach him to dance in private because she likes.
Well, and
But no, she sees the ability, natural ability that he's got to basically jump around like a
Yeah.
like a frog.
I thought her character was really interesting.
it
Maybe
developed
very-
well.
yeah,
yes,
like
Because she was horrible almost at the beginning,
Mhm.
but she's walking through ballet class
but-
smoking.
yeah.
oh, she hands it to one of the ballerinas
Constant cigarette.
so she can correct
yeah.
Billy's form, and then picks it up from the ballerina again and walks away.
Constantly.
It was
And
the
they're all
best.
little kids. I love it.
She was never not smoking. She was always
No.
smoking.
I won't show you my fanny.
Show us your fanny.
Oh, the misplaced
please.
anger at the dance teacher. That was awesome. And then he leaned on her. He got real mad at her.
Mm-hmm.
Real mad at her because, you know, you have to have something
It's
like that. in
growing pains.
And
That's
then-
what that is.
And then he stops yelling at her, and she's just looking at him, and he leans on her like kind of a hug, and that's where I wrote, he needs his mom.
Yeah, she is a mother figure to
Mm-hmm.
him. And you said she was kind of mean, but I didn't see that. I was like, these Brits are very just like, they don't sway one way or the other, like happy or sad. They're just very even. And she was firm
Yeah,
but caring. She didn't make him feel stupid for joining. None of
That's
the
true.
girls did. She just expected the same shit out of him as everybody else. You know, put your chin up, you know, do all that stuff. She treated him the same.
she just wasn't much of a character, though. She wasn't much of anything at the first.
Yeah, and she
And
was
then
not
She
like
grows.
great at emoting.
Right.
Like you could tell, obviously, she spent all this time with Billy and teaching him privately and stuff so that he could have success. But at the end, when he comes to like tell her that he got in, she's still very flat,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Yeah, of course,
Of course you did.
yeah. Now go, you know." And it's a sweet moment, but it's also like
Go out and find
she doesn't like celebrate with him, and I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It was almost like and maybe it was like that for her, but she just knew that he needed her at that specific moment in time, and then that was all their relationship was going to be.
Mary Poppins.
With a cigarette.
Yeah.
And no carpet bag.
Right.
I've never seen it.
Shut
What?
the front door.
Okay, we should do the original and the Lin-Manuel Miranda. Those should be two of our movies one
Really?
week.
What? It's old.
I'm
Oh
Isn't
my
it?
God.
What, 70?
I'm like right now. I'm like giving Wendy the real side eye. like who the hell are you? No,
I know.
You need to see that.
I know. There's a lot of classics I haven't seen. Well, I'll watch Mary Poppins, but we can't watch.
It's a musical.
We can't watch Goonies because I'm just still holding out on that one. You know
I
how?
haven't seen
1964.
Goonies either.
Yeah, you know.
I didn't see Goonies until I was in my 40s.
Okay.
Guys,
We didn't have
I am
cable and I
walking
lived on a
out
farm.
right now.
I
am
lived on a farm. We didn't
walking
have
out.
cable. What are you supposed to do?
Listen.
Listen, Linda.
You know-
you video.
Do you guys do anything out of spite? Just like, okay.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes,
Star
you
Wars.
do. See,
Star
you just
Wars.
hold out because people freak out when you say you haven't seen it. So now you're like,
Yeah,
well,
I
I'm
don't
never
wanna
gonna see
I
it.
don't want to see all this Star Wars.
Mary Poppins is worth it for Dick Van Dyke. He's
Okay.
cute.
I'm willing
He has a
to
terrible accent.
do that one.
Oh my God! I word for word. And Mary Poppins is during the time when women were trying to get the right to vote.
Okay.
So there's a whole lot of that. There's a
The woman
sister
of the house is
suffragette.
a suffragette. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, cute.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's she's kind of a dumb blonde, but in a way.
1000% love it.
But then you're like, oh no, she's not. The
Okay.
dad is an oaf, but you know.
No, he's so cute. Okay, go
Is
back to Billy
not.
Elliot because I was watching, and then you know when the floodgates opened. Yeah, no, am I
No.
the only one who lost it?
I
When-
didn't.
Oh, I've lost it
When
several
they asked
times.
him, what
I
does
never
it feel
cried.
like when you're dancing?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That was it for me, and that happened to be at the
Electricity.
audition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, at first he was like, I don't know, but then he expressed a lot, and I immediately welled up, and I was crying.
and at his audition, he had screwed up and he was pissed at himself. So
Flash
then
dance.
when he got flash pants.
Flash
But
dance.
there was no or he kind of danced angry,
Yeah.
and it was goofy.
Yeah,
He danced really goofy.
there
Yeah,
is
it
definitely a
didn't look
goofy.
like he was it was weird.
It was weird. And when did he learn step dancing? And how,
Tap dancing.
Yeah,
how
it's
did
like
his-
he's been doing ballet this whole time, and then all of a sudden at the end he's tap dancing
I
everywhere.
even wrote, do
He's
those
tap
the girls
dancing and-
change out of their tutus when tap?
Well,
tap
he's tap dancing
power?
in boots that don't have taps on
Uh-huh.
them. How does
Listen,
that work?
Yeah. I want those little boxing boots, though. 1,000% that lace up to
Oh,
the
sure.
Mhm.
mid-calf. Give them to me.
Mm.
So, yeah, this is a good movie.
Mm-hmm. I loved it. I'm gonna have to go and watch the musical now.
Oh,
I'm curious
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's
and the
do that.
Clash. The music is pretty good. There's a Clash. I
Mm-hmm.
wrote that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So fun.
London Calling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the end, he was a ballet dancer.
Yes, in the
All
swan.
the rest of the whole movie,
The
he
swan
was a
is
weird
scary.
dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the end, he's 25 and dressed as the swan.
Yeah. And Dad is proud as fuck.
Yep, and so is our Tony,
Mm-hmm.
our Maeve,
Our maid.
our Tony.
Oh yeah. And his Michael is there as a grown up in
As
the
a
audience.
So great.
And he's got a
He's on a date.
maybe he did
I don't know,
have
it
he
looked
did
like-
have a man there with him, and he had this fabulous head wrap.
Yes.
Yeah.
So nice.
And his
That
makeup
a
was
great
done
movie,
really well.
actually.
For sure.
Great. I thought at first I was going to need to turn the subtitles on, but I
Oh.
got used to it.
Yeah, you used
Yeah.
to. I had to turn the volume up because
Oh, I did too.
because of that. But then and
Mm-hmm.
oh, it was nothing like what I thought I watched.
Oh.
Like every movie we watched that I watched 100 years ago, and then I watched it again, and I'm like, that was not what
Well,
I saw. back
yeah.
then.
Right, because you're in a different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
you're
old.
in a different decade.
Well,
Yeah.
and the first time I watched it, I had been to Ireland at least once, and so then I think that's why I assumed they were Irish, but because everybody was Irish then, I don't know. It just was not.
Weird. Yeah. Well, speaking of that, movies being very different. Save the Last Dance is our second one.
Yes.
And I had a very different experience watching this than I remember. I'll read my summary, I guess, first, and then, unless we're not ready to move on.
Dude.
Summary. Heartfelt, bit cheesy commentary on U.S. racial issues told through a teenage love story and a charmingly awkward dance montages. So the first thing that was very shocking to me, watching this as like an adult, I guess, this came out in 2001. I have seen this movie probably 20 plus times because it was like a big movie when I was a teenager and we all loved it. And it was like one of those that I've seen a lot. I watched a lot in college. And I remember like really loving this movie. And now I'm like, it's really cheesy.
Yeah.
It's really badly cheesy, but it's a rom-com.
It's a very surface level
Yes.
mixed couple story.
Mhm.
Very not
They were trying to breach some really big topics, and I think they missed the mark a little bit on it. However, I don't know.
They are teenagers, so maybe that's part of it.
That's part of it
but-
too.
yeah.
I think that, and some of it might too be that like the vernacular of the black people in this movie was hip at the time, but I'm not even sure that it was.
Right.
But like,
Oh.
because like it's slamming.
What is it that the kids don't say these days?
Right. And so maybe like when I watched it before, I was
Yeah.
also a naive white teenager and I didn't know that was not, well, maybe it was in 2001. They,
In
that
Chicago.
stuff changes a lot. So I don't know that experience, but it seemed really super cheesy now and almost like
Yeah.
a farce.
Uh-huh,
That
yeah.
they were trying to do, but I didn't recognize that until I watched it this time, I guess. And Julia Stiles, who I actually love as an actress, is not a good dancer.
No.
She's not believable as getting into Juilliard, and I remember
No.
thinking she
Yes,
was
I
so
thought
cool.
She had to be a lot better than that to get
Yeah,
into
she
Juilliard.
Right.
she was
And then
not.
him coming on stage and
She-
like that
Yeah.
would fly.
No.
I read some things about this movie, and one thing that she said was that she really did bust her ass
Uh-huh.
to try to get to the level
Of
of
course.
dance that her character was.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine, like,
Well, she
being
wouldn't have
given-
had a ton of
winning
time.
a role
Yeah.
and then having to, I mean, the actors do it all the time where they have to learn a skill or
Uh-huh.
look like they know a skill, pretend like you're playing the guitar or,
Mhm.
There were enough scenes shot in such a way that it could have been
a body double.
Oh, there definitely was
For
some
sure.
body doubling going on.
Sure.
Yeah, especially in her audition. But you know, there's a lot of scenes where it is her dancing, and she never really.
She's stiff.
I think hip hop is difficult.
Yeah.
You have to be loose. You have to be loose but controlled, but not stiff.
Mm-hmm.
And have rhythm.
Yeah, how can a ballerina? That's another thing about this. It's like, even though she doesn't dance hip hop, like she's a ballerina, she would have rhythm.
She should.
And she acts like she's like, I don't know how to go back and forth to a song.
So weird.
I don't know how to sway. Suddenly.
Yeah, all of a sudden I don't have any rhythm. Like I understand,
No,
like not having the swag.
Wait, is this one of those scenarios where this is how the love story blooms? Because women always need a boy to teach them something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's how you fall in love, is that you pretend like you need
Oh,
help. Yeah, you need help. Will you teach me how to shoot this bow and arrow? And wrap your arms around me and, you know, I need help.
Yeah, excuses to touch each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Teach me to swim,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Callahan.
Heroes.
No.
Oh my God.
What was his name?
So
Victor?
okay.
So like, okay.
Yeah. Back to that.
The house in South Bend was very, very nice for a lady who's a florist assistant.
What?
The house she was in, the house at the beginning, I just was like, because I compared it to when she moved to her dad's,
Oh.
and it was so bad.
She was a florist?
Yeah, that's right.
She wasn't the owner. She was
Well,
a florist.
She worked in a flower shop.
You know what? Just learn to invest. You'll get there.
Don't buy avocado toast
Ugh.
or 7 Brew coffee
Or-
every day.
Yeah, but do buy.
But do.
Brew.
We're not saying that. We're
Listen,
saying that.
No, everybody's house in movies is way too nice.
True,
1,000%.
except for her dad's.
Her dad seems about right for a dad as he is.
Yeah.
Something I noticed too. Well, okay, she's another tank top, no bra movie. Just in case you want to know that. But when she goes to school in Joe, she wears a bright red coat, and it's this black and gray and navy coats. And I didn't know if that was symbolizing something. Maybe Schindler's List was thought about her. I don't know. No, just kidding. But it was just something I noticed.
Yeah.
I noticed. Just visually, it was kind of.
She has to stick out because she is blonde and everyone else is black.
Except for a few.
And
There were a
I
few
noticed
people.
Yeah, the
they
one,
all needed
there's one other
name
white girl.
tags with photos on them to get into school. That's something that we have no clue about.
Metal
Yeah.
detectors.
Metal detector.
That kind of a situation, you know. That's urban, inner city or whatever.
It's
We
very urban. It's
don't know.
South Side
All
Chicago.
we know here is that you cannot run through a cornfield without your shirt.
Unless you're Charlton Heston and you're wearing a loincloth. No, he was naked. Gross. Anyway, so her character seemed to get tough, resilient very quickly. Nothing seemed to really faze her much.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was a good thing or if it needed more
Bella.
acting thrown at it.
Yeah.
Bella.
Yeah.
But she was able to have some good comebacks when people were giving her crap.
Yeah, I think that had she not had Kerry Washington, which I, by the way, forgot that this character was played by Kerry Washington, and I was like, oh yeah, but because when I saw it the first time, she wasn't who she is now, or she's had all these other like crazy roles.
I love that, by the way, seeing the young version. So far, so good.
Yeah. I think like if she hadn't had her, it would have been a very, very different story because she kind of took her under her wing and gave her some confidence. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Don't ever sit at this table again. Get over here, girl. There is another thing that I don't know if you guys found it as kind of as I did, but Julia Stiles' hair progresses to be a lot more and more of a black style.
It's always braids.
Is it cultural appropriation or cultural misappropriation?
Well, the term is cultural appropriation.
But if you do it wrong,
it is misappropriation.
Yeah, because I'm like, like her hair started out just straight blonde, and then it started to get more and more complex and more braids and more just like things that would not seem like the normal thing that she would have worn back home.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's just a product of, the environment and the friends that she had and that kind of thing.
Right. Well,
blend in.
the first night they go out to the club, what is Kerry Washington's name in the
Chenille,
that's right. Chenille fixes her to look a little bit more, to fit in with the crowd a little bit more. So I think it's probably an influence of her friends.
Covering her blonde. Covering it. It's a bit of a protective move, I think. Like, you know, you're going to get a lot of unwanted attention. So she puts that little, like, headscarf on her, and she looks super cute.
Yeah.
But different.
As a 17-year-old, I would have been scared shitless to walk in that bar, and she's not.
Yeah.
No, but she has already this confidence. You know, she's already snarky, and then she's got her friend.
But she, I think it's like, when something like that happens to you, you kind of don't give a shit anymore.
Right.
So because her mom, she's like, my mom's dead. Like, it can't get much worse. What am I going to get? Like,
right. She's resigned to her fate.
Oh.
I don't mind Roy, the dad. He
tries.
He has no idea what he's doing.
He's just like the pretty in pink dad.
Yeah, except he does something.
Well, he has a job.
That's true. He plays the trumpet.
He's a musician. Yeah, I think, you know, he really is trying and trying to make up for the fact that he was absent for most of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough situation to, like, all of a sudden have a teenager in your space when you're used to being
Especially
a bachelor.
a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
teenage girl. Just they can be rough.
Yeah.
I don't know
Very.
I don't really think.
I was gonna say.
So they were the apartments. The back of Chenille's apartments are actually South Side Chicago because they look like my brother's first apartment in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
South Side.
Okay.
There were some heated arguments when we visited with the neighbors.
Oh really?
With the word body bag and
Oh jeez.
yeah,
Yikes.
yelling off little back deck.
Oh my. Oh my.
And that was my sister-in-law, not even my brother. She's like 4'10".
I don't know. What's her boyfriend's name? Derek. I only called him Barbershop the entire movie. And then what did Barbershop just say? Because have you seen the movie Barbershop?
I don't.
Neither has Jody, as it turns out. So we must.
I'm not sure. If I do, I don't remember much about it.
That's I was saying that one of my paintings that I'm working on is actually Eve, a scene from Barbershop where who drank my apple juice? And there's a big red note on it that says, "Do not drink me," and no one would admit to it. And it's a great movie. People may disagree, but
it was a whole
a
franchise.
Yeah,
there's lots of them.
Barbershop 2, I think so.
Yeah, I think that I have seen it, but it's been a long time, and I would like a refresher. Yeah,
it's adorable. But he plays a similar self-important guy in Barbershop because when we first meet him, I did not like him at all.
I didn't mind him.
I didn't like him at all because he was like know-it-all.
Yeah, he definitely had a little bit of that
until they sort of started.
Yeah, well, she doesn't like Julia Stiles does not like him either.
No,
at first, she thinks
he's
but then it goes quick. Then she likes him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there's a thin line between love and hate, right? Especially in movies.
And also, it's less than 2 hours, so they have to move fast.
Yeah,
that's right. Unless they go months pass, May, July,
72 hours later.
Yes, someone gets their hand in the safe.
You know, I didn't see much.
Inevitably.
Well, she asked if she was seeing anyone, her friend from home, and she's like, "Yeah, I think I met someone," and she's like, "They have white guys at your school?" The friend.
Oh yeah.
And then Julia goes,
"Say that's weird."
No, well, no, they don't really.
That people still are having a problem with that. That's
right.
Probably that old device, right?
It was, that for some reason that surprised me, and I don't know why.
Wait, though,
I get it from one angle, but I don't get it from the entire. I don't understand it because it was filmed in 2001.
Okay.
I mean.
Oh, you mean that angle? Well, go back to the less important part. Yes. In that it's okay. So she does have a friend back home. Why didn't Bella have any friends back home?
Because she's a dick.
She literally, it's like, okay, you've uprooted. It makes sense to have a tie.
Yes.
A friend, a best friend that you had to leave, or anything. What the hell is with all these movies where the kids uproot and then there's nothing? Like, they literally severed ties with everyone. Just because their mom dies doesn't mean their friends are gone.
I would hope not.
Yeah.
So are we kind of saying this movie is?
I mean, watch it.
It was great when you were
Yes.
then.
When
So-
I was the same age as the characters of the movie, it made more sense to me.
So if you could get in the phone booth and go back with Bill and Ted to watch this movie again, but would you make a special time travel trip?
No,
No?
I wouldn't. If you had asked me before I rewatched it, I would say, yes, this is one of my favorite.
I mean, that's essentially what we just did.
movies.
Is take a time
Yeah.
trip, but
It's true. Yeah, it's not a must see. I don't think it's like a culturally important
It's
movie.
not
there are
100%
better ones,
pivotal.
So many better ones,
So I was, but I mean, it's not a terrible movie. It does
It's
have
not
some cute dance montages if you're into
Yeah.
that, where she's dancing through the city and stuff. I liked that part.
I mean, you can turn it on and fold your underwear.
Yes,
Oh, 1,000%.
it's not
an afternoon
not too
movie.
heavy, even though it's trying to like be heavy, but
Could have been
No.
heavy.
I
But
mean-
see, we already watched Moonlight, so we have this.
yeah.
Standard.
We kind of have this thing
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. That,
It's true. Yeah. But yeah, I'm wondering now, it's hard to like look back at it, but you make a good point that like it is so racially charged, trying to make, but it was, we think about 2001 as being pretty progressive, but I don't know that it was
okay.
as much as we think.
Well,
I think most people wouldn't have a problem with an interracial relationship, but I think in 20 plus years ago it would have been more than now, especially like the older lady on the train is kind of
that
like
these movements, they move slowly sometimes, and it's just like the thing that we're in now with the Barbie movie. There, something's brewing, and you never know. It might take decades.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
and
going backwards. It goes backwards.
Yeah,
does, and
unfortunately.
it stalls out, but it's as long as people maybe have their eye on the prize, we can just keep moving forward. But unfortunately, so many people do not.
Well, what about the comments that Chanel makes when they go to the clinic for her
When
child?
she gets really mad.
And I think I do think that kind of stigmatism or astigmatism that's a stigma, not an eye condition. This
We
is
don't know. She never
maybe
got in.
That's why they're staring. That's why they're staring. Oh,
I have a
I
stigmatism.
can't see you as clearly as I want.
I have
to.
an issue with thinking things are medical words like song lyrics, but anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. Song about dental work. So
I know this song about dental work. I think everyone would love that.
okay, well now that I said, well, let's talk about our band. The song "No Rain" by Blind Melon. The lyrics are very hard to understand by the singer, and we decided to play it in the band. And when I started looking at the real lyrics, I was like, wow, I did not think that this was what it was. And for whatever reason, I thought that he was talking about pulling teeth. Instead of pour tea for two,
Yeah,
he's like, I'm
pull
going
some
to pull a
teeth.
teeth or two, which isn't even grammatically correct.
Oh God!
Because that makes sense
Yeah.
in the song.
And then, what did I think about the cheeks?
Jeans.
'Cause the line,
Keep your teeth.
What?
it wasn't that, but
Teeth grinding.
Teeth dry today.
no, it wasn't. It was keep my teeth extracted. Yeah.
I think it sounds like jeans. Keep your jeans dry today.
Why would there be a pop song?
Oh, let's look that up.
Yeah, it was. The line is cheeks dry, but I thought he was saying, which sounds so ridiculous now. Keep my cheeks dry today, but I thought he was saying, keep my teeth extracted today.
And you were 1,000%
ready to be all in. And Blind Melon.
No rain.
Pull some teeth or two. So whose turn is it to draw the new
You.
movies? Me?
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Well, you did draw last week, but technically it was Jody's turn, so I guess she could.
Or do I go back to
You could
me drawing? I don't know.
Take it.
I don't want to be a hog on the
Please
drawing.
draw one that is not fucking downer.
Oh, I got two. Andy Samberg, popular.
Oh, here we go. These are not downers.
Yes.
Popular and Palm Springs, or pop star. Popular.
Yes.
Popular pop star.
I can't read.
Connor for real.
Pop
Palm
star
Springs
and
is
Palm
what?
Springs.
Palm Springs is he and
Is
this
it like a Groundhog Day?
yes.
Okay, I've seen that.
Oh, I've seen that.
That's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's recenter.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's more recent.
Andy Samberg is the theme for next week.
Next week.
All right. Did we do it?
Did we?
Yeah,
do
we
it?
did.
Yeah,
We
I think
flicked some
we
beans,
flicked
didn't we?
some beans.
Flicked those beans.
You didn't. You got a fizz.
That's right. Shit, I didn't flick beans today. I'll do it later.
Do I throw this or do we keep this for posterity?
I'll do it. See you guys next week.
All right. Miss you. Love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Party all night long.